Alabama, the heart of Dixie, the 22nd state of the United States, and the only place I know of where it's a Class B felony to wrestle a bear. But bears aren't the only thing you should watch out for in the Cotton State. A 7-foot-tall screaming woman, a satanic sculpture, and the gates of hell are just a few to keep on your radar. Since the early 1900s, the children of Abbeville have been warned not to stay out too late. If they do, they might be found by hugging Molly. Or also known as the Lady in Black. Molly is about 7 feet tall, dressed head to toe in black, and dons a wide brim hat. If she finds you, she'll hug you tight and scream bloody murder in your ears. Right outside the Highlands Methodist Church in 5 Points Circle, Birmingham, sits a beautiful fountain called the Storyteller. The fountain features several animals and a ram man in the center reading to the other animals. It's a very charming piece of art, but many suspect this fountain to have a darker and more sinister meaning. It is believed that the ram man represents Satan, and there are even rumors that satanic rituals are performed at the fountain. The bridge found on Old Boiling Springs Road in Oxford is known as Hellsgate. The story goes that in the 1950s, a young couple died when they lost control of their car and drowned in the waters below. It is rumored that when they turned off their lights and looked behind them, they saw something so horrible that they accidentally drove off the bridge trying to escape. Now if you were to park on the bridge, turn your lights off, and look behind you, not only would you see hell, but you would come face to face with one of the 2 young people who died that night. After screaming and either turning your car back on or frantically exiting your vehicle, the ghost would leave. Only a puddle would remain in their spot. Now, before we move on to the truth behind these stories, remember to like and subscribe for more urban legend and other entertaining videos. Now, time for the truth. So, this might come as a shocker, but hugging Molly isn't real. Well, at least the person isn't. There is a restaurant in Abbeville named after the myth. The place is called Hugging Molly, and it is a 1950s styled restaurant that is full of vintage movie memorabilia that the owner has collected over the years. It is a very cool place, and many people seem to enjoy it. As for where the myth originated, it seems that people started telling the story in Abbeville around the early 1900s due to many tragedies that happened in the small town. There isn't one specific event that started the story, but the tragedies of segregation, lynching, several fires, a tornado, and many others have contributed to this myth. One thing is for sure, this was used by parents to get their children home before dark so that they were safe. Nowadays, I doubt that this myth would deter people from going home early, especially with the fact that a few years ago, everyone was simping over a 7-foot-tall, terrifying woman. I'm looking at you, Markiplier. The Storyteller Fountain does exist, but it has nothing to do with Satan or satanic rituals. The fountain was created in 1992 by the late local artist Franklyn. This piece was commissioned as a memorial for Malcolm McRae, who was murdered by his friend Gerald Wayne Lawley. The ram man in the center is supposed to represent McRae. Originally, the ram was going to be a lion, but I'm not quite sure why it was changed, but it was. Many people who knew Fleming thought the rumors of the satanic meaning of the fountain was really funny. His friend, Richard Dowd, even said, "Everyone who knows Frank just laughed out loud. He's such a nice guy." Though the idea of the fountain having anything to do with Satan is quite funny, the fact that there are 5 frogs arranged in a pentagram shape within the design doesn't really help their case. But hey, art is subjective. The bridge called Hellsgate is also real, but today it is very unstable and deemed unsafe. It is actually blocked off from driving and walking on. It has not been demolished yet due to many people wanting to preserve the bridge for historical reasons, but there hasn't been a decision made on that case yet. So until that decision is made, nature is slowly reclaiming it. I couldn't find any record of a young couple dying on the bridge, but I did find a few things talking about disappearances. The building of the bridge started in 1912, but it didn't open until 1917. And this isn't that big of a bridge, so it's kind of confusing why it took 5 years to build. Many people claim that it's supposedly due to World War II happening around that time, but there also were a few mysterious disappearances of the workers. Supposedly there might have been some other stuff going on there, but we can't be quite sure. Also, remember, your brake lights are red, so that ain't the fiery pits of hell. Thank you for watching!